Welcome to another drawing from Let's Have Fun Drawing Together. Let's dive right into today's story.
Meet Monkey D. Luffy. In a world of vast seas, mysterious islands, and boundless adventure, there exists a young man unlike any other. Monkey D. Luffy. With his trademark straw hat and a grin so wide it could outshine the sun, Luffy is not your average adventurer. He's a rubber man. Literally, after eating the magical gum-gum fruit, his body gained the ability to stretch like rubber, making him one of the quirkiest and most formidable pirates to ever set sail. But Luffy isn't just about goofy powers. He's got a heart as big as the Grand Line itself, always ready to help a friend or stand up for what's right. Luffy's ultimate dream? To find the legendary One Piece, a treasure said to be hidden at the end of the Grand Line, and become the king of the pirates. But what truly sets Luffy apart is his crew, the Straw Hat Pirates, a band of misfits, dreamers, and warriors, each with their own unique talents and stories. Whether it's Zoro, the stoic swordsman, Nami, the clever navigator, or Chopper, the adorable reindeer doctor, every member of Luffy's crew is an irreplaceable part of his journey. Today, however, Luffy is setting out on a different kind of adventure, a joyous escapade that involves laughter, creativity, and a little bit of chaos. So grab your pencils, and let's jump into the story of Monkey D. Luffy's latest and most The Call to Adventure. It was a sunny morning aboard the Thousand Sunny, the magnificent ship of the Straw Hat Pirates. The crew was enjoying a rare moment of calm, scattered across the deck. Luffy, as usual, was sitting atop the figurehead, munching on a piece of meat bigger than his head. "Captain, we've got an island coming into view," Nami called from the crow's nest, her sharp eyes spotting a speck on the horizon. "An island? Is it full of meat?" Luffy asked, his eyes lighting up. "How would I know that?" Nami sighed, but her lips twitched into a smile. "It's marked as the Island of Joyful Colors on the map. It might be worth exploring." Robin, the archaeologist, looked up from her book. "The Island of Joyful Colors? It's said to be a place where creativity and imagination come to life." "Sounds fun! Let's go!" Luffy yelled, punching the air. With a turn of the wheel, the Thousand Sunny headed straight for the island. As they approached, the crew couldn't believe their eyes. The entire island seemed to shimmer with hues of the rainbow. Trees had pink trunks and blue leaves, rivers flowed with sparkling golden water, and even the rocks seemed to glow in vibrant shades, discovering a magical world. The Straw Hats disembarked onto a beach made of glittering purple sand. Luffy immediately dove headfirst into the sand, laughing. "This is awesome! It's so shiny!" Chopper, the reindeer, picked up a handful of sand and examined it closely. "It's not just sand, it's like tiny crystals." "Hey guys, look at this!" Usopp, the sharpshooter, shouted. He was pointing at a grove of trees where fruits in every imaginable color hung from the branches. "I've never seen anything like it!" Zoro, the swordsman, leaned against his sword. "As long as it's not dangerous, I don't care." Robin walked over to a carved stone tablet near the edge of the forest. This writing talks about a place called the Hall of Creation. It says it's a sacred spot where visitors can bring their imaginations to life. "Bring imaginations to life?" Bai Hanji, the chef, raised an eyebrow. "That sounds suspicious." "Sounds awesome," Luffy declared. "Let's find it." The crew ventured deeper into the island, marveling at the whimsical sights around them. Flowers sang in gentle melodies, animals wore patterns like they were painted, and even the air seemed to hum with energy. They followed a winding path, marked with colorful stones, leading them to a grand entrance carved into a mountain. The Hall of Creation. Inside, the Hall of Creation was breathtaking. The walls were lined with murals that shifted and changed, as if alive. A shimmering pool of liquid light sat in the center, surrounded by brushes, pencils, and sculpting tools. "Welcome, travelers!" a voice echoed. The crew turned to see a figure stepping out from the shadows. It was an elderly man with a long beard that seemed to flow like a waterfall of paint. His robes shimmered with every color of the spectrum. I am Maestro Hugh, the guardian of this hall, he said with a bow. Here, your creativity will guide you. What you imagine will come to life. But be warned, your creations will reflect your inner selves. Luffy's eyes sparkled. So I can make anything? Like a giant meat mountain? If that is what your heart desires, Maestro Hugh replied with a chuckle. One by one, the Straw Hats approached the pool. Luffy, of course, dove right in, sending ripples of color everywhere. I want a meat mountain, he shouted, to everyone's amazement. Chaos and creativity. Quote, as the crew experimented, their creations began to fill the hall. Nami crafted a golden map that glowed with the locations of hidden treasures. Zoro accidentally conjured a forest of swords, which he tried to duel one by one. Sanji created a magical kitchen where ingredients floated into pots on their own. Chopper made a field of blooming flowers with healing properties, while Robin brought to life a flock of graceful, paper-like birds. But things started to get out of hand when Usopp, wanting to impress everyone, imagined a massive dragon. It roared to life, its scales glittering like gemstones. The dragon wasn't aggressive, but was incredibly clumsy, knocking over Luffy's meat mountain and scattering Zoro's swords. Usopp, control your dragon! Knocking yelled, dodging a swinging tail. I didn't know it would be this big! Usopp wailed, trying to rein it in. Amid the chaos, Maestro Hugh clapped his hands. Remember, your creations are a part of you. To control them, you must the trial of balance. As the day went on, the crew learned to harmonize their creations. Luffy helped Usopp bond with the dragon by turning it into a playful companion. Zoro used his sword forest to spar and train. Chopper combined his flowers with Robin's paper birds, creating a serene garden where the crew could rest. But just as everything seemed perfect, the ground began to tremble. The murals on the walls darkened, and a shadowy figure emerged from the pool of light. Who dares disturb the balance of creativity? The figure boomed. It was a massive, swirling entity made of shadows and ink. Maestro Hugh's face grew serious. That is the void, the embodiment of lost and forgotten ideas. It seeks to consume the creativity of the world. Luffy clenched his fists. We can't let it do that. Let's stop it. The battle for creativity. The Straw Hats faced the void with their creations as weapons. Luffy stretched his arms and used his gum powers to hurl chunks of meat at the entity, distracting it. Zoro's swords clashed against its inky tendrils, while Nami used her weather-controlling staff to summon lightning. Chopper's healing flowers weakened the void's power, and Usopp's dragon breathed streams of rainbow fire. Robin and Sanji worked together to protect Maestro Hugh, who guided them with wisdom. To defeat the void, you must remember why you create, to bring joy, to inspire, to dream. Karen. Hearing this, Luffy yelled, I create because it's fun, and because I want to share that fun with everyone. His words ignited a spark within the crew. They combined their creations into a single, dazzling masterpiece. A giant phoenix made of light and color. Phoenix soared toward the void. It's a joyful farewell. Exhausted but triumphant, the Straw Hats gathered around Maestro Hugh. You have done more than protect this hall, he said. You've reminded us all of the power of imagination. Luffy grinned. That was awesome. Can we come back? Maestro Hugh laughed. You are welcome here anytime, Monkey D. Luffy. As they sailed away from the island of joyful colors, the crew looked back at the shimmering shores. They knew this adventure was one they'd never forget. Exploring the aftermath. The Titan's defeat left a ripple across the ocean. Quite literally, news of the Straw Hats' triumph spread quickly, attracting attention from allies and foes alike. On a distant ship, Trafalgar Law chuckled as he read the report. Luffy never fails to stir things up. Meanwhile, in the Marine headquarters, Admiral Kizaru raised an eyebrow. The Straw Hat Pirates, always making waves. Perhaps it's time we paid them a visit. Back on the Thousand Sunny, the crew enjoyed a rare moment of peace. What do you think that treasure's really worth? Usopp mused. Robin smiled enigmatically. Sometimes, knowledge is the greatest treasure of all. a hidden challenge. Unbeknownst to the Straw Hats, the island's defeat of the Titan had awakened an ancient defense mechanism. As they sailed away, a fleet of autonomous ships emerged from beneath the waves, their cannons locked onto the Thousand Sunny. "We've got company!" "No," Nami yelled as the first cannonball whizzed past. Luffy, ever eager for a fight, stretched his arms skyward. "Bring it on!" The crew sprang into action, with Zoro slicing through incoming projectiles and Frankie unleashing the Sunny's powerful galleon cannon. In the chaos, Brook played an upbeat tune to boost morale, while Chopper worked tirelessly to treat minor injuries. A new ally appears. Just when it seemed the fleet was overwhelming, a massive sea serpent burst from the water, obliterating the nearest enemy ship with a single swipe of its tail. Riding atop the serpent was a mysterious figure cloaked in seaweed. "Need a hand?" the figure called out. Luffy beamed. "New friends are always welcome." The stranger introduced herself as Marina, a protector of the seas who had been drawn to the island's disturbance. Grateful for their help, she offered to guide the Straw Hats to a hidden sanctuary where they could regroup and uncover more secrets of the Grand Line. Together, they set sail for their next great adventure.
Thank you for watching. Watch another video on our channel. Let's have fun drawing together, where another unique character embarks on a new adventure.